So we've just had a teaching about John 6 and John 15, and I'm going to give a short teaching here on John 15, the verses just after the one that I covered in the last video. Here it is. Let's read it. As the Father loved me, I also have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. Now, you who say that you do not have to obey Jesus' commandments, read this again. Read it. And tell me with your hardened, wicked heart, I don't need to obey Jesus' commandments to be saved. Say it. Say it out loud if you dare. Write it in a comment if you dare. Don't do it. As the Father loved me, I also have loved you. Abide in my love. It's a command. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love. You don't want to abide in Jesus' love? You say you don't have to keep his commandments to be saved. Does that mean you don't want to abide in Jesus' love? Then he says, these things I have spoken to you, that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy may be full. If you don't keep his commandments, you don't abide in his love, and Jesus' joy does not remain in you, and that joy is not full in you. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. Have you done that? Have you given up your own desires, will, plans, future for your friends? You are my friends if you do whatever I command you. Jesus laid down his life for his friends. That's what he's saying. Saying no, greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do whatever I command you. It means that if you don't do what Jesus commands, you are not his friend. It's exactly what he says. This is verse 14. Read it with me. You are my friends if you do whatever I command you. If you do not do whatever I command you, you are not my friends. He said that there's no greater love than to lay down your life for your friends. That means laying down your life for strangers is not a greater love, because he says there's no greater love. That means that Jesus laid down his life for his friends, those who do what he commands. If you say you do not need to obey Christ, then Christ did not lay down his life for you, because you are not his friends. Sorry, that's what it says. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not know what his master is doing. But I have called you friends, for all things that I heard from my Father I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit. Remember, you can't abide in Christ unless you take communion, his flesh and his blood. And you cannot bear fruit unless you abide in him. Watch the previous video. I'll link to it right. Where's the, there's right up there. I'll link to it there so you can get that teaching. Jesus says precisely those things. He says word for word. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, unless it abides in the vine. Neither can you unless you abide in me. And we read from John 6:56, he who eats my flesh and drinks my blood abides in me and I in him. So we know what it is. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should remain. That whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you. These things I command you, that you love one another. So that you love one another is not what he's commanding them, because he says, these things I command you. Meaning all the previous things he's been talking about, he's commanded you. He's even put it in a command form. Abide in me. So if you think that obeying Christ is optional and that you can slip under the fence and be saved without obeying Christ, you are deceived. This passage from verse 1 through verse 17 rebukes you, especially when you combine it with John 6, where he directly says how to abide in him and him in you. Now you know. You must obey Christ. May the Lord bless you as you seek him with all your heart.